So on the PTR, I've been trying out the introductory quest for the Darkshore Warfront for the Horde. As you can see, I didn't bother making any binds really, so don't pay attention to that side of things. But it is interesting to note that what used to be out of bounds behaviour in the Horde is still being normalised, though your player is given a choice again, just as with the Lordaeron scenario. So the story of this particular quest is the Night Elves have begun to try to retake Darkshore, and Nathanos is having none of it. The Horde apparently have held Darkshore fairly securely, but now something is happening. It's interesting that he says that we can't allow them to retake any part of Kalimdor, when there are still small areas of Alliance control there. But I guess that's just supposed to be historical content now, and the official story is there is no presence at all, even down as far as Feralus. We are ordered to kill Night Elves and then command a Valkyr to raise them up as Dark Rangers. It seems that our character queries this slightly, but Nathanos insists that it will work and that Sylvanas has a plan. There is also some interesting Night Elf magic at work. Apparently the Night Elves have done something to turn the moon black, and Horde scouts are going into the woods and not returning. We are tasked with interrogating a few senior Night Elves, though this seems to take the form of just killing them. So, when we get started, we do indeed get to work killing Night Elves and then raising them up as undead Dark Rangers, thus normalising more necromancy within the Horde, whose races are generally not that keen on it. Still, we should remember that Orcs had necromancers in the Warcraft RTS, so they don't get to be all high and mighty about it, I suppose. When we finished interrogating the Night Elves, we find a wisp that seems a bit confused, so we put it in our pocket and rush off to Nathanos. Now I'm guessing we torture the wisp somehow and get it to show us what happened there, but that's a cinematic, so we won't actually get to see it until it all goes live. We are then sent to find the body of the Night Elf captain that taunted Sylvanas just before she ordered the burning of Teldrassil. We are to raise her up, but upon finding the location, a warden finds us. Sira Moonwarden has been the de facto leader of the wardens when Maiev has been missing, and we face off against her and kill her. The Valkyr then gets to work raising both up. The captain seems to be part of a revenge scheme of Sylvanas's. And this is where we get our choice. We are to kill the Warden when she is beaten. We can either do it or refuse, after which Nathanos will do it anyway. Just like at the Battle of Lordaeron, the Blight was going to be spread whether or not we took a Blight canister and spread it ourselves, but we did have that choice. So we could decide as a character, no, I'm not going to do that. Of course, like a good little paladin, I refused, just like I refused to spread the Blight. Now, upon raising them up, first Tyrande and then Malfurion attack us. We fight them on long enough for the Valkyr to do the work. As the two dead Night Elves are raised up, they seem to decry a loon for forsaking them. Tyrande kills the Valkyr, which seems to upset Nathanos, probably imagining what Sylvanas is going to say about that, after which we beat a hasty retreat. When we get back to camp, the newly raised warden suggests that she had her reasons for accepting undeath, but she won't go into them now. Bearing in mind, it's quite interesting to note because there are two ways that the dead have been raised. Sylvanas can raise them up and give them their free will, like the Forsaken have when they were free of the Lich King's grasp, and they could choose whether or not they wanted to accept undeath, or was she going to absolutely bind them to her will, just like the Lich King, and they have no say in the matter. We are told by this statement effectively that it is still a choice. They get to choose. This warden has chosen to accept undeath. She has her reasons, but she's not going to go into them now. There is an ending to the scenario which also takes the form of another cinematic and the impression that it has been a bad day for the Horde. We are now resolved to do battle, which is where the Warfront will come in. The Warfront itself hasn't been available yet. It may not be for a little while, but it will be interesting to see how it will be different to the Arathi version. I don't think the idea with these Warfronts is it's just supposed to be another Warfront of the same basic type in a different setting or a scenario. I actually do think they, from what Ian Hazzikostas was saying in his 8.1 reveal, that they're going to have different features as well. So it'll be interesting to see that. I'm presuming at some point we're going to see an Alliance starting quest for it as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to click the like button, subscribe for further content, share with other people who might also be interested. Throw your comments down below in terms of what you're hoping and what you've seen so far of it. And until next time, I'll see you later.